Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Fay Semple. I'm your guide to the Earth's hidden energies. And today we're going to be diving into how Western geomancy, which is a sacred practice of harmonizing with the land, can support the quantum biological processes of our bodies, helping us to thrive in mind, body, and spirit. We're going to explore the aliveness of the landscape, quantum science, and the divine consciousness that flows through all of nature. Plus, if you stay to the end, I've got a free guide to share. So let's get started. So Western geomancy is at its heart, it means aligning to the Earth's energies. Now, often we think of sacred sites like stone circles where energy lays cross, those sort of visible pathways of power that crisscross the landscape. That tends to be what we think about, Stonehenge, maybe the Rollright Stones, or, Sedona Valley, all these kind of places where they're obvious, where their sort of power is obvious. And I think, these places feel quite alive, don't they? And this is really, it's where I suppose landscapes kind of hold stories and they're vibrant and they hold memories, in their rivers and their stones and their hills. They hold a memory of everything that's gone before them. So in geomancy, we see really the earth as a living partner. We see it as conscious, and everything in it has its own consciousness, and that we are in that matrix of consciousness, and that we want to develop really what a co-creative and supportive relationship with all things. So it's reciprocal. We help the earth by, doing geomantic techniques, and then that place becomes healthy, and in return, we can thrive. So it might sound like all spiritual and all woo, but there is a growing body of evidence now that suggests our body can sense a huge variety of subtle things, subtle forces like electromagnetic fields in the landscape. That we can actually feel these. Our pineal gland, is sensitive to these fields. We're just not conscious of it. And I think this is what, like, we kind of have this, I won't say a block, but in modern society, it's like if we can't see, feel, touch, taste, or smell, it doesn't exist. Yet we know that there are lots of phenomena that are sort of beyond those five senses that are real. So it's about being open to the fact that, that there are things going on that we can't see with our normal five senses. So, for instance, like at sacred sites, the land's natural electromagnetic frequencies are amplified by geological features like fault lines. And those frequencies then resonate with our biological systems. So it changes the biology when we're at these sites. So in that respect, it's sort of like the earth is speaking to us, but not in language. It's speaking to our cells, of all the cells within our body, the water within our body, the light within our body. It's inviting us to live in harmony. So if the earth is resonating at one frequency, it's inviting us to live sort of in a resonant harmony with it. So, and this isn't just sort of, like I say, poetic, sort of spiritual woo-woo. It's quantum physics really in action. Our cells communicate to each other using light and electromagnetic signals. So a process that really we're starting now to see termed as quantum biological processes. So by aligning with the Earth's energies really through the ancient practice of geomancy, we're actually tuning into frequencies that help us thrive. So I think up until now, we've had a very mechanistic, modern scientific model. We've had this, model of the world but we're geomancy as a practice, I think, gives us very simple tools that anybody can use to engage with the world around us, to engage with light, to engage with water, to engage with rocks, to engage with trees. And all of those things have qualities about them that engage their quantum biological processes, but we don't need to know what they are. So I think geomancy is a practice that anybody can do that's really going to enhance your life, but also that that its practices are now what we perceive as cutting edge science. It's just that in geomancy, we didn't really have those terms for it. We thought about working with the energy of place. So it's far more than just woo. Geomancy is really, it's bringing us cutting edge wellness in ourselves, in our activities, and the places where we live and work through biological processes. But we come from this older spiritual practice rather than cutting edge science, but they meet together. I mean, really, spirituality and science are the two sides of the same coin. We're just coming at it from the other direction. So let's look a little bit more about quantum biology. What is quantum biology? So the science, of really, it's the science, quantum biology is really the science of how quantum processes underpin life. So, as I say, research now shows that our cells use light to communicate with tiny sparks of energy called biophotons, guiding really the processes, everything from repair and growth. And these studies also suggest that light signals are influenced by electromagnetic fields, which creates coherence. So it's kind of quantum harmony in our physiology. So we have these light photons that enter our eyes, they enter our body, they go down into our, they're in our brain, and the electromagnetic frequencies means that they operate in coherence with the world around them. So, but in modern life, really, that process can get interrupted. So everything from Wi-Fi, stress, from this hectic technological driven society, processed foods, these can all disrupt this harmony. Not getting outside in natural light, not having our feet on the soil, not touching soil, not being near trees. When we live a life that's, very urban and removed from the natural world, that interferes with all these processes. So what really geomancy does as a tool, it offers us a way to reconnect. So we can visit sacred sites, but you could visit your local park. You could go and sit under a tree. You can just, even if you've got the tiniest of spaces, just for a window box, you can stick your hands in the soil in that window box as you plant some flowers. By doing these things, we let our cells sync with the Earth's natural rhythms. So the land's electromagnetic pulse, paired really with its living consciousness, because we know that quantum fields are conscious. So we're pairing with that consciousness of the Earth and all its energy forms. That acts like a sort of factory reset for us. It's like a shutdown, reset, restart, and we can sort of be born anew. And, it goes down to everything, even the water that we drink. Studies now show that the water in our bodies, in our cells, becomes more structured, almost crystalline, when exposed to these frequencies of being out in nature. And that when water becomes more structured, becomes H3O, which is hexagonal in structure, like a mesh, like a net. When that happens, it enhances cellular communication so that our cells are able to communicate better around the body about what needs to be done, what they need, what needs to be repaired, what needs to be healed. So, if the earth itself, the sky, the water, the light, the wind, the trees, the earth, everything helps our bodies grow healthier, lighter, fitter, stronger. But it also, on a deeper level, aligns us with the sort of divine essence that flows really through and beyond nature. This God consciousness, the God spark that is in everything. So geomancy is one of the tools that we can use to tap into it. And that's, I think, why I really like it so much. It's because it's such a spiritual tool based out there, working with our home, working with our land. Even if it's a tiny, small plot, it's much more sort of practical than things like just, I don't know, having a tarot reading every day. It's all very nice, and you see a lovely card and it'll show a mountain with someone walking up it in a glowing light. And you think, oh, that's really pretty, but what's it actually mean? We so often we seek guidance in a world that's sort of up until, I think a lot of people are feeling a call back to a deeper spirituality that's more than just a tarot, an oracle card every day, than journaling. It's not enough. And I think that's why I like geomancy, because it means we go out and we do things with rock, we do things with soil, we do things with water that can be both practical. It can enhance our crop, it can enhance the vegetables in our garden at the same time as we're helping our own bodies. So, how does all this help us thrive? Well, as I say, my theory really is quite simple. My theory is that the Earth's living energy, which we can access through geomancy, really is designed to support our quantum biological processes. And those quantum biological processes help us physically, they help us mentally, they help us emotionally, and they help us spiritually. So they can help us heal physical complaints, and we can move through that to the other end. They can not only heal, but we can enhance our state of being. So we can take us from not being in a good state of health, and we can move all the way through to where we're enhancing our consciousness, where we can have outer body experiences, extrasensory awareness. We can really shift into another stage, and we can go along that spectrum with geomancy. Because sacred sites and natural spaces emit, like I say, frequencies that enhance our cellular coherence. They help our body repair, balance, and energize. And research shows that weak magnetic fields, like those at ley lines, for instance, can influence cell growth and even DNA repair. But again, we can, aligning with these energies, we can also influence the neurochemistry in our brain that enables us to tune into divine consciousness. So this is what I really like about geomancy. It is about not just making things better. So we can go into a house or a place that doesn't feel good. We can get it going from not feeling good to coming into sort of a neutral base to enhancing it. So we can go from feeling not very well or not very connected to, yeah, I'm feeling a lot more imbalanced, to actually tipping over into highly beneficial. So here's a tip. Why don't you try and find a local sacred site if you have one. If not, try and find a quiet bit of woodland or a quiet riverbank or just a quiet area somewhere and stand barefoot, face the sun, breathe deeply, and just feel your body syncing with the earth's pulse. Notice any sensations in your body. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel as your attention drawn to anywhere in your body that needs attention? That's your body responding to the earth. We have evolved to be on this earth, out in the sunlight, facing the weather, drawing the resources that we need from the natural world, our food from the natural world. It's not designed to be processed and bright pink and come in a packet. So the more we can get back to a natural method of being, I think the health we will all become. And again, that's why I like geomancy, because we can use it to grow fantastic vegetables and we can use it to have, you know, alter states of consciousness. It is a multifunctional tool. And no amount of tarot cards or oracle cards or journaling or going to the gym or minding your diet, none of those things are all separate tools. Where the geomancy is like this one-shot deal because it encompasses everything, but it's the same tools that we use for each because they work on these levels of consciousness. You only need really one methodology to do the whole lot. And that's why I love it. And if you want to go deeper, down below, you'll be able to download my free guide, Decoding Ancient Secrets, which really shows you how to use geomancy to harmonize your space and health and some of the key techniques that we use. So it's a practical way to bring this ancient wisdom into your life, whether you're seeking, to improve your health or to connect to something more than yourselves. And that's why I say that's why geomancy for me is it's a Swiss Army penknife for spiritual tools, because it enables us to do so much with it. So we've explored Western geomancy and quantum biology today, which is about seeing how the Earth's living energy can really help us thrive. So, but I want you to imagine those tools are valuable everywhere, from, I don't know, creating a sacred site in your garden like my students do, miniature stone circles or miniature chamber cairns, whatever. But from those kind of spaces to the workspace where you work every day at your desk, to where you're sitting now to listen or watch me, aligning with these natural energies and pulses of the earth can really support our body's quantum harmony. And in doing that, like I said, enables us to heal our bodies, heal our health, and also to have sort of quantum consciousness so that we've got the tools and the mechanisms and the biological process going on so we can access ourselves, access our own quantum consciousness. So I'll say, if you're inspired by all this, grab my free guide below in the link. It's in the bio. And it's really your key to harmonizing Earth's energy for vitality and peace. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and welcome to my tribe of the explorers of Earth's whispers, really. And I'd love to share a place in the comments where you feel the land's energies, where feels special to you, where really fires you up, where do you go when you're feeling, oh, I really need to regenerate, rejuvenate, reset, I need to recharge my batteries. Where do you go? I'd love to hear. So until next time, stay vibrant and keep listening to those earth whispers.